James, back in your Mesa F50, and we are running down some reverb and signal integrity issues. Well, the reverb issue is that there is none. You know that. And if you could see my bench, I'm frantically cleaning it up off camera so I can prepare for the shot, as it were. I am finally gonna realize and admit some level of defeat to the point where I need to bring this dude in. So let's get the old magic eye warming up. And what do I need? I need a dummy load. Why do I need that? I need that so I can just listen for the straight signal without being fooled by my bench test setup. So we're going to rely on this little IT12 for its internal speaker, and plus we got that cool eye to have a look at. So let's see where my, let's see, I have an appropriate 8-ohm dummy load here. I just need what? I just need the appropriate cable to make it happen. So I'm moving you down, that you can kind of catch a glimpse into the hell that is my bench at the moment. But that's okay. That's progress. That's progress, somebody would say. So what I'm going to do is patch in this resistor here. It's the output of your amp. It's going to match impedance, so that makes for one happy output transformer and a set of 6L6s, which don't come cheap these days. But hey, it's not the early days of the conflagration in Eastern Europe that had 12AX7s running past $100 a piece for the little JJs. Remember that racket? Now they're back down to Earth somewhat, maybe low Earth orbit, hovering around $20, tax and shipping, all that stuff. So we have a dummy load here. We are plugged in, ready to roll. What am I doing? So I made a little noise probe here. And it replaces the original one on the Heathkit, which is way too bulky for my needs. And I determined that a 1/4-inch jack is the way to go for me. So that's what I did. Did I desecrate this vintage piece of sought-after test gear? Perhaps. Perhaps I did. But does it matter to me? Nope. Because it needs to work for my needs. It needs to suit my needs. And I need to be able to use it effectively, don't I? Yes, I do. Now, having said all that, you can kind of see, boop, 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 boop. See that down there? Not the best angle for you. But look at this guy. And this will, once I switch the speaker on, see that? A closed eye will indicate the presence of a signal or noise. What am I running right now? I'm running my Michigan State University signal generator, which was designed and developed by their math and science department, math and physics rather. And it's lovely. It's a late 50s model. I want to find out who the hell made it and shake their hand, or at least give them a Starbucks gift card. So we do have a steady 400 hertz signal running through that pup at around 500 millivolts as the crow flies. And let's see what that sounds like. I'm on a clean channel. I have the reverb pumped up. Let me grab a piece of this potentiometer and see if we can get some sound out of this girl. See? See that? That's the sound we're going for. Well, we're not going for it, but that's the sound we're using. Get you a better angle there. Look at that. And then you can see the little filament right there. So we're tracing the signal, the sine wave, and God, don't let me electrocute myself. It's present there. I'm moving over to this little 5532, which is acting as, let me get that off, which is acting as the reverb driver and recovery in the absence of a nice tube design. And what am I seeing? Well, here's what I'm experiencing so far. I'm gonna give you, see if I can give you a quick look. Lord, I have to turn this mount around. It's a bear. Is that clear? Perhaps. Hey, that's not bad. This is probably the best I've ever done it. I'm gonna use this guy right here to kind of illustrate. So, what are we doing? The signal is, if you look right here, there's a reverb pad. The signal is actually coming up here, boop, jumping over there, going up to this 220K. You see that? And that's where the signal is entering. It's exiting on pin 7, and then it's driving that reverb tank over here to the recovery side, and then going on its merry way. All right, we're back, having replaced all those pesky J175s. Now we're turning our attention to that little 5532, which is that op amp responsible for driving and recovery duties on a reverb circuit, that is. So let's see what we're getting on the output, which will be pin 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice and loud. That should be driving across the reverb tank and then making it out to recovery. And then from that point, we'll be getting a nice little healthy signal on the A end of the output, which will be pin number 1. And we're not really getting that. We're getting a low distorted signal. But wait, there's more. Let me switch over. All right, now we're turning our attention to the tank where we have the input transducer and the output transducer in this particular tank. Yeah, input, I should be seeing an impedance of 150 ohms, and the output, say 2.2K. So let's look for, well, I've disconnected this so I can go straight to the transducer there. You could probably see those little stubby legs. Let's see if I can get a better shot. It's just not going to happen today, folks. There we go. I have the meter set to measure resistance. Now with this camera angle, I can't even access the legs, the terminals. There's the bottom, there's the top. I'm getting 26 ohms on the input, where I should be getting 150. Way over here on the outputs, maybe I'll just focus on the meter. It's a lot nicer to look at than my hairy knuckles, huh? So here's the input. Should be 10, remember that. 150, I'm sorry. We're getting 26 ohms. And then, over on this transducer, we should be getting 2.2K ohms. I'm not getting that at all. I'm either getting overload, or if I jiggle it, sometimes I'll get in the meg range. So how can you drive a signal across that? Under these conditions, who's gonna work under those conditions? Not the lowly little 5532, I can tell you. You need a bolt of lightning to drive this tank. So, we're gonna need a new tank. I don't have a test tank, so I can't really do much in the way of assessing the health of that 5532. I can say that she's getting plus and minus 15, and that there is a slight bit of signal on the output, on that second output. So, talk to you soon.